Hi, welcome to today's episode of The Young and the Restless. We open where we left off with Phyllis causing a scene in the jazz lounge right in front of Jack and Diane and telling them bravo and telling everyone to clap them and celebrating them as Mr. and Mrs. Jack Abbott. Everyone starts to clap to clear the tension in the room. We see Daniel walk over to his mom and begs her to stop. Phyllis says that she is telling the truth, and Jack tells her to listen to her children. Phyllis rants and says that she is telling the truth about Diane, and she will go when she is ready to go. No one tells her to leave, and she yells and tells the room that Diane is dangerous and they need to listen to her. I'm not sure if Phyllis is putting on a show right now. And we move on, and upstairs we see Amanda tells Devon and Abby to go. They need not let her keep her from leaving together. And she calls them out for lying and saying it was just a moment back when she caught them. Amanda then tries to leave, and Devon begs her and tells her to stay for a conversation. Downstairs in the Neil Jazz Lounge, we see Danny walks over to Phyllis and he also begs her to step outside. Phyllis cries to him and hugs him and says that she has changed. Do you believe me? Do you believe me? She continues to cry and in his arms and says that she has changed from who she really is. Yes, she has heard people in the room, but she's nothing like Diane, and people need to open their eyes. Danny asks why are you doing it. She says it's because of Diane and everyone needs to know. Diane says to Phyllis that Phyllis is drunk, so she needs to go home and sleep it off. We then see Jeremy come down on the steps in his mask so they can't see him. Outside, Amanda says that she has nothing to say to them, and Abby tells her to listen to Devon so that they can get healing. Amanda says that she will give him 3 minutes, and he offers to talk to her privately at the bar. And we see Abby is left outside alone, remembering the day that they cheated, and her apologizing to Amanda the other day. And Abby leaves, and Amanda tells Abby while Amanda is leaving, she tells Abby to remember that Devon is a cheater. Then we go over to the Abbott house, and Ashley is raging and rants to Tucker about Jack marrying Diane and says Jack knew that she wouldn't cause a scene in public. That's why he did it publicly. And she continued to rant and says that it seems like Tracy knew and didn't tell her, and says Diane has played Jack perfectly. Back at the lounge, Jack says, Phyllis, you have made your scene, now go home. Phyllis calls out Diane for taking her life, and Jack tells her that she blew it up herself. We see Summer and Danielle beg her to leave, and Jack says that he had enough of her hatred. Phyllis questions how he can love a woman that abandoned her child, unlike her, who would die for her children and kids. Yet Diane gets free pass while Phyllis gets ridiculed. While talking, we see Phyllis, she keeps going in and out, and then she passes out, and Danny catches him and Danielle. Upstairs, we see Nate and Elena are surprised to see that Devon and Amanda are sitting and talking. And Devon tells Amanda he dropped the lawsuit against Chancellor Winters and Amanda wonders why he suddenly dropped the lawsuit. Devon tells her about the naming of the lounge after Neil, and then they discuss him and Lily rekindling. Devon says that he is happy to have his sister back in his life and says that his year was about making regrettable decisions. This hits a nerve for Amanda, and he says that he wishes to fix it. And then he says that he hasn't forgiven himself for what he did and asks Amanda for forgiveness. Amanda says that she is healed. Downstairs, as they put Phyllis to the ground, Diane says that to Jack that what is she up to now? Then we hear Gina says that she is faking it, and Christine says that she is not sure about that. It seems real. Then Victor says that something is off and he's going to contact someone, and he leaves. And we see Phyllis is blank out, and Summer asks if there is a doctor there. Upstairs, we see Lily approach Amanda and Devon, and she's surprised to see them talking. And Amanda says that they are moving on. Then we see Victoria runs up to get Nate and says that it's an emergency. Phyllis collapsed. So Nate and Alina run downstairs with her. We see Summer cries and says that her mom had tried to make things right with her so many times and she ignored her. And Danielle tells her mom knows that you love her. Summer says that does she know? Nate and Amanda arrive and they try to figure out what could have caused it, and they ask everyone if they know what happened, and Nate says that he doesn't smell any alcohol and they can barely get a pulse. We see Sally and Nick goes to the coffee house to get a burger, and Adam goes to see if things are okay with the baby. Adam walks in and he sees that they were just getting a burger at a coffee house. Back at the Abbott house, Ashley questions why Tucker has been quiet all night, and Tucker says that maybe Jack and Diane has gotten real love, and maybe Diane has changed, and he would like the same for him and Ashley, for her to forgive him like Jack did with Diane. Back at the lounge, the EMTs arrive, and Lauren, Amanda, Michael praise that Phyllis pulls out of it. Then we go back to the coffee house, and Adam asks if Sally and the baby are okay. Sally and Nick calls him a stalker, but she says that they are fine. Adam said now that he knows that she was just hungry, he's going to leave and pretend like he wasn't there. Sally said maybe you should come join them. She says after all, they need to figure out how to work together. We see that the EMTs are ready to move with Phyllis to the hospital, and Daniel is down for being a jerk to his mother for the past couple of days, and he and Summer decide to ride to the hospital together, while Kyle says he's going home to check on Harrison. Then we see Liana asks Victoria if she knows what led to the crisis, and Vic tells her to go to hell. Then we see Diane sees that Phyllis has her ring in her hand and wonders how she got it. And Jack remembers that Stark bounced into him and might have picked the ring out of his pocket. They wonder what Stark is up to. And Stark comes in, and Nikki asks what is he doing there. Then Stark sees Phyllis and yells, "What the hell happened here? What happened to Phyllis?" Back at the coffee house, while Nick is accusing Adam of being a stalker to Sally, he gets a text from Summer telling him that Phyllis is gone to the hospital, and he leaves to go to Summer. Then we see Sally and Adam talk about the gala, and she asks Adam if Sharon agrees to him being a stalker. We go back to the Abbott house, and Ashley tells Tucker that she prefers when he wasn't talking, because Tucker is trying to convince her that she needs to back off of Jack and Diane. Tucker continues and he begs her for a second chance and says if Diane can do it, so can I. Ashley says that it now seems that Jack is blinded by love. Ashley says that she will be damned if she allowed Jack to ever become allow Jack to marry Diane and make her become a member of the family. We see Jeremy holds Phyllis' hand while they were about to take her out to go to the hospital, and they told her that he couldn't come, and he calls Phyllis his love and holds her hand, and everyone wonder why is he calling Phyllis his love. Jeremy gives a speech and says that you people are happy now that Phyllis is out. And Kyle turns to him and said, "Why are you pretending like you care about her?" What are you doing here? And Jeremy asks, how did Phyllis end up in a hospital? Jeremy declares that he and Phyllis are married and she is his wife and he will be by her side. Back at the Abbott house, Ashley continues to rant about Jack and Diane, and everything she does pushes him closer to Diane. Tucker says maybe she needs to do the opposite and shake things up. Why doesn't she marry him? Over at the coffee house, Sally enjoys her burger, and Adam sees leftovers on her mouth and points it out and attempts to wipe it off. And Sally says that they really need to work on their awkwardness. Back at the lounge, Diane and Jack says to Jeremy that if he expect that they should believe that you and Phyllis are married. And Jeremy said that they got married 3 days ago. And Kyle says there is no way Phyllis would marry you. Jeremy asks, how would you know? You haven't been close to her lately. Amanda says Phyllis is married and she never said anything to anyone. Danny asks, who the hell are you? And Jeremy says that he is the only person in the room that gives a damn about Phyllis. And Lauren yells, so you want us to accept that you and Phyllis just suddenly got married? Jack then asks, what kind of game are you playing? And Nikki questions Jeremy and whether or not he has taken advantage of Phyllis now that everyone has turned her back on her and she is in a vulnerable state. Jeremy yells and says, Phyllis married me because she wanted protection. She was scared and alone and says that she needed protection from Diane. Tells everyone that Phyllis was afraid, and Jeremy asks Diane, what did you do to Phyllis? Why she end up like this? Thanks for watching. Bye.